Hey guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. Welcome back. You know who I am. I'm Lisa, Life with Lisa A. Just don't mind the mess back there. You can see the vinegar bottle. I actually did this backwards today. Usually I fill my opener and then I cook. Today I started doing my meals and filming that, and now I'm doing my opener. So today we're having corned beef with potatoes, cabbage, and carrots. And then, which I did not know until I started cooking, but I made just a little taste of Colcannon potatoes. What is that? It's mashed potatoes with a little fried onion, a little bacon, and a little cabbage. I'll show you how to do that. I was not planning on doing that, but like I said, since I cooked first and now I'm recording, this is why I'm talking about it. So anyway, long story short, so we have a lot of cooking to do. Well, that's what I normally would say, but I had a lot of cooking to do, so let's get to it. All right, guys. So guys, again, happy St. Patrick's Day. Let me just give you my lineup. I probably have about 10 or 12 corned beefs here. You will obviously not be using that much. They do shrink. So if you think you just need one, get two, because they shrink up a lot. But I have a lot of people coming over. You know, my kids, their spouses, my parents, etc. So I got onions, and I don't know how much onions and peppercorns I'm going to be putting in exactly. I just eyeball everything. I'll put 2 of these in a pot, and I'll show you how we do it. So I use water. I fill up all my meat with water. I use some of the peppercorn, some of the pickling spices. I use whole peppercorns. Okay. I use bay leaves. I use red wine vinegar. And this is all mixed in water. I use beer. Forget the meats. Oh, and did I mention I use flat cut meat? It's more expensive, but I think it's a better cut of meat, more tender. And I try to get one with less fat. So anyway, my meat. I have 10 pounds of, and we're going to have leftovers for days to come. But red potatoes. I have 3 heads of cabbage. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use them all. Carrots. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to be using. I have a 22 size quart stock pot, and I think this one is either 12 or 14. But anyway, so let me cut 2 open and I'll show you what we do. Okay, I don't know if I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I do not use salt. This meat is salty, 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 salty. And actually so salty, my mother, when she cooks hers, she'll drain her pot she's cooking it in, all that liquid, and then refresh the water. Okay? And I'm not sure if she adds then more, like, say, a little bit more vinegar, a little bit more spices, whatever. But the point is, when she cooks hers, she'll drain that water at least 3 or 4 times. And you cook it on a medium high, a nice simmer, for about 4 hours. Okay? Because you want it tender. And I keep my lid on. So anyway, or 3/4 of the way on. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I do not put any extra salt or pepper in it. I just use the peppercorns, the spices you saw, and that's it. No additional salt. Okay, and then what I do is, like I said, I will take some, well, let me just finish this process, and then we'll talk about when I get to the cabbage later. Okay, guys, so here we go. I'm going to cut open. Now, guys, if you're not sure what, I can just smell it and know when it's right. You don't have to add the meat. You can add your water, kind of guess how much water you're going to be putting to cover the meat. But do your water with the beer and your concoction with the vinegar. Taste it. Make sure it's not too sour or stuff like that. But if you're confident, by all means, do this process first. So we're just going to cut open this meat. So hang on. Okay. So we're going to put this to the side. I'm going to put it in my sink. I'm not going to take any of the, I'm not going to rinse it, but I'm not going to take any of the extra juices. I'm going to stick it in my big pot. And guys, I'm kind of concerned because I had to go out and buy these pots last night because I don't have my big good ones with me. You got to make sure you use a good pot though. The worst thing you want, that you don't want to happen, you don't want your meat to stick to the bottom of the pot because you will burn it. And trust me, I've done it. You will get that yucky burnt flavor, because I mean, it could get really burnt if it sticks, and it just ruins the whole dinner because you taste it, you can't get rid of it. So let me just show you. We'll just do one, but I'm going to be, oh my God, past quadrupling this. But let me put the water in. I'll show you how much water. I'm going to be, pretend you were just doing one, even though you're not, okay? Okay, hang on. Okay, guys, I have enough. Oh, and guys, you want to know something? You could do your corned beef in the, I'm going to do mine on the stovetop. You could do it in the oven. I always, without fail, every year do mine on top of the stove in a stock pot. However, I've done it both ways in the same year. I always have to do this method, always. But I have stuck one in the oven, right? And then with the cabbage and, you know, you cook it for a little bit, then you add your cabbage and potatoes and your carrots, etc. You could do it, my daughter has done it in her crock pot. And you could definitely do it in a pressure cooker. So, okay, here's some pickling spices. That's how much I would use if I was just doing that amount. Maybe a pinch more. Okay. I have half the package left. I'll show you inside. That's what it looks like. Okay. Oh, I don't want to get that dirty. Okay. Next, this is a large onion. I cut this in half, but just for now, I'm just to show you, but I'm going to be using everything. Let me just wipe my hand off. Okay, let me get my light back on. There you go. Now, guys, if you had a little piece of cheesecloth or something, you could put these peppercorns inside that, tie it up, and just stick it in there so you don't have to fish them all out. I don't care about that. I will pick every single, that's what my daughter used to hate doing this with me. Because we would pick all these peppercorns out. Because you don't want to eat them with your corn, with your because I put in here eventually my cabbage and carrots and potatoes. And you don't want a bite of this. So here, we're just going to sprinkle these in. Okay, there. That's how much went in there. Bay leaf. 1, 2, we'll do. And again, bay leaf is strong, guys. We're going to do 3. Okay. We're going to add vinegar. And again, this is where I'm going to start smelling it. Nope. Let me take it off. Let me just pour it this way. So, definitely, we're about 1/4 of a cup. I would say that was almost a 1/2 cup of vinegar. And guys, again, if you thought, oh my God, guess what? Put a little splash more water, you're fine. But we got beer coming. This is I think this is a 24-ounce can. Okay. And probably right now I'm at 8 ounces, so a cup. Okay, I can smell it. Let me go smell deeper and I'll be back. Guys, that smells good to me. I smell the peppercorn, I smell the pickling spices, I smell beer, and I smell vinegar. Now, I'm going to go pile this high and go get my, some other meats in here. I don't think I'm going to do all of the meats today. I don't know. We will see. Okay. Guys, I either have 7 or 8 corned beefs in there. I should count the packages in the garbage, but I put the, because mine were like super big onions in there. You saw what I did. I just kept increasing it for every layer, or I should say every piece of meat, which is like every layer I did. It smells spot on, just like I want. So now we're going to bring this up to a quick boil. I'm going to lower it a little bit, put the lid on, and I got to make sure there's nothing that's going to stick to the bottom of this pot either. This makes me a little nervous, because I don't believe this is non-stick. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but things could stick to the bottom, so I have to stay on top of it. So I'm going to go start slicing my cabbage and my carrots and peeling the potatoes and getting that ready. As I said, my mother drains this, not completely, or maybe she has in the past, and I said, why do you do that? But then she starts to process all over. I might just dump half of this and put water in here. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, because my memory isn't like it used to be, which is crazy because I'm only 52. But anyway, I'm just going to let it boil in here. Take some of this. I'm adding no salt, I said, because those meats are salty as heck. And so that's why my mother keeps dumping it, to get rid of that salt and put some new water in there. And it does work. But anyway, so I'm going to use some of this water to cook my potatoes. If I add water, if I put this in a potato pot and then I have to add a decent amount of water, I may add a little salt. If I don't, then by all means, I'm not adding salt, even to that mixture. So, but like I will, and then I'll put my carrots in first because I think they take the longest for my liking. Put my carrots in first, then I'll do the potatoes. And when I think they're just about, you know, got maybe 10 to maybe 12, 15 minutes left to cook, I'll fill my cabbage in. Again, not in this pot, but I'm going to be using some of this liquid to do it. All right, I'll show you step by step. Okay, guys, I'll show you just on one. I have 4 of these cabbages. I don't know, I'm going to cut all 4, but if I don't use all 4, that's okay. I like to fry it up in a frying pan with sesame oil, and it's just really good too. But I could also make, well, cabbage soup, but I make a unstuffed cabbage. Just start taking these leaves off, rolling them in, right? I just chop it all up and make a unstuffed stuffed cabbage. It's the same ingredients. We just throw it all in a baking dish and bake it in the oven. So I'll show you how we're going to do it. I'm going to cut it down. Now, this is not my good knife. And actually, guys, if you really wanted to, when you're cutting with onions, you could cut a little edge off like this. Just a little bit. See that little bit right there? But I like this part of the cabbage, actually. And keep it like that, and we'll keep better when you cut it. It won't roll. But I'm not going to do mine that way today. So we're just going to cut it straight down the middle. And again, this is not the right knife, so just bear with me. Actually, let me just, because my hand's going to be in the camera, so let me just slice right through. Okay, so we'll move this one to the side. That has some of the core, this does too. Then I'll turn it upside down. You can see the core, part of it is still right there. We're just going to cut one more time, right down the middle. Okay. And then you could cut around that core or just leave it in. I like to cut mine in big, like this is too small even. I like, because it cooks down and gets all wilty, I like to have big square chunks. Okay, and I'll just start cutting. Like this is the size leaves I want. Like this. You can make yours as big or small as you want. And when I get around to the core, now listen, my mother takes the core out. She'll cut it out, boom, boom, boom. I can see it, I don't have to. And that's it. So we're just going to continue cutting them in this. And if I think this has some of the core in it, I'll just throw that piece away. No biggie. All right, and that's it, guys. Like this one here, you can see through the bag. This is too dark. I will take the outer leaves off this one. This one I did not have to. You could take one outer layer off. But I just wanted to say that. And here's part of the core right here. We'll throw that away. All right, guys, here you go. And this has been cooking, I want to say, what, 45 minutes to an hour? And you're just starting to see something happen in there. A little bit of movement. Now it doesn't really want to move, but okay. It's taking a while. This is a big pot. This is 22 quarts of liquid. And guys, when you smell it, you should smell everything. Everything in your pot. A little beer, a little vinegar, the pickles, seasonings, etc. You don't want this to smell like a lot of vinegar. Like, oh my God, all you do is smell vinegar. If so, add some water. But you do want to smell some vinegar. When you start cooking, your house will start having that little bit of a faint vinegar smell, but I can't even tell you the first thing I smell. I smell pickling spices, beer, vinegar, and that's what you want to smell. But again, you don't want to just smell like a bottle of vinegar. If so, add some water. Okay, bye. I'm still working on the cabbage. Again, just the sizes I like. I may do Colcannon potatoes. It's just where you take mashed potatoes, well, smashed potatoes with cooked cabbage and some bacon. You could put onions in sometimes, but I'm just going to be doing bacon, some cooked cabbage, in with your mashed potatoes and mix it together. And that's basically what your Colcannon potatoes are. So I'll do a little bit of that as well. Onto the carrots, I've peeled a couple, but, excuse me, I've sliced a couple. I just cut them in really small, thin circles, okay? They cook quicker, and I like them like that. If it's a big, fat one, like this, which I've had, I will slice them down the middle and then cut them like that. So sometimes like they look like little half circles. That's fine. So picture taking a circle and slicing it down the middle. Okay, so that's what the half pieces will look like. Just had the lid off. Hold on. So I'm not gonna. So it still has a boil to it, but see how it looks like it may be cooked, but it's not gonna take hours. But when you poke down on it, see all that blood that still comes out. It has to be clear. Oops, sorry about the steam. Wait. See that? I know my thing's foggy, but you can still see that red blood. So definitely not cooked. Okay. Smells amazing though. Oh my God, it smells yummy. Say, I'm still plugging away, chopping up my carrots. I got my potatoes. I got my cabbage. This is two big heads, one medium head. I don't know. I think that's it. Right now I have 8.5 potatoes. Not 8.5. Oh my God, 8.5 pounds. 8.5 pounds of potatoes. I may just do the whole 10. And guys, the ratio, and this was 2.5 pounds of carrots. The ratio you use is up to you. Like I may not use every single carrot. I don't know, and I have more if I wanted to use more. But if you like less carrots, use less carrots. If you like it all cabbagey, use more cabbage. If you want mostly potatoes and just a little bit of cabbage and potatoes, carrots, it's up to you. You go to according to your taste and the ratio you want and the doneness you want. But I always start with my carrots and then my potatoes and then finish obviously with your cabbage because that takes the least amount of time to cook. And like that potato, I want everything bite-sized pieces. This one is too big. I'm going to just cut him. All right, bye. Just want to say one more thing. I added a little water now to here. When you're doing your carrots, I think, put a little less carrots in than everything else. Only because, you know what? Carrots can take over. They're so sweet. So I think a little carrots go a long way as far as, you know, sweetness. Because you don't want to just think, you know, you don't want it to be the star of the show. So, okay. And it can steal the show very easily, in my opinion. Just a quick little heads up. I know I touched base about this before. My pot I'm cooking my corned beef in, I will use some of that liquid, probably mixed with some fresh water, but a lot of that cooking liquid. Okay, so I'm not going to add, I'm going to taste that liquid once, obviously, my meat's cooked to see if I need to add salt to the potato, you know, water or not. Because I did not add any salt to that corned beef because, it's like I said, it's very salty. And you know me, and I like my salt and I like my seasonings, but held to the no on that because that is salty as heck. But anyway, sometimes my husband likes the carrots with the cabbage and the potatoes just for the heck of it, you know, not because I only do this meal once a year, obviously St. Patrick's Day. So once in a while, my husband is in the mood for that. So if I'm going to do this just on a typical weeknight, I will definitely add to the pot, just like the seasonings for the corned beef. I will add, I will add beer, water, vinegar, onion, bay leaf, peppercorns, and that's it. Okay, bye. And, hey, I said I would show you a little Colcannon potatoes. All right, this is tap water. Okay, cold, obviously. And I did take a couple ladles of my corned beef mixture, right? That water that I'm still cooking. I can show you. Hold on. What it looks like. It's less bloody, if you will. It's cooking through. So anyway, nice roaring boil. So anyway, hold on. I don't know what happened there. Okay. So anyway, long story short, I took some of that liquid, put it in here. Not much, but a little bit, just enough to give it a little something. And I am going to add a little bit of salt to this, because I know it's not going to be salty, because I'm not using all pure cooking liquid. Okay, just a little bit. That's it. So now what you could do, because I'm going to be adding bacon and cabbage, and like I wasn't sure if I was going to put the onion in or not, but hey, what the hell? I'm already busy, so why not just peel a little bit more onion, right? At this stage, you could put the, well, after you start cooking this, you could put your cabbage in here to cook it. I'm actually going to fry up some bacon. Then I'm going to saute my onions in there. Then when my onions are halfway done, I'll probably take my cabbage and just cook it in the frying pan. and cook it down. And then just add it, you know, then drain this when this is cooked, mash these, and then add, you know, the onions and the cabbage and the bacon to the mixture. Before I add the bacon, I may just add a little bit of the cabbage and the onions and give them a quick little mash in here, just to break them down a little bit. It's entirely up to you. It's whatever your preference is. Okay, my son Kenny is calling by. Okay, guys, I want to make some, like, I want color on these for our potatoes. I'm cooking them a little higher than I normally would. I would want to cook them low and for a long time to get them this brown. I'm jacking it up quicker, the temperature. And then I just took some shredded cabbage. I'm going to cook it in here. I put salt and pepper on my onions. I'm going to put salt and pepper on my cabbage. I already mashed my potatoes. Guys, real simple, milk and butter and a little pepper. And here we go. Just a little bit of salt. I'll taste it when I'm done. I couldn't really see. Pepper. Stir it together. Okay. And I cook this in a little bit of bacon fat with a little bit of butter. And this is all we're going to do. Boil this down, and I'm going to throw this in with my mashed potatoes. Give it a quick mash, another mash, and then I'll throw the bacon in. So, it's up to you. It depends on how much potatoes. I got 4 potatoes, so you could do like 1 slice of bacon per potato. Guys, I don't know if I recorded it. I cooked some onion in bacon, leftover bacon grease, salt and pepper with the onion. I fried it. I cooked it higher than I wanted to. Normally I do it low and slow, but I'm in a rush, so I cooked it higher to get it done quicker. And then I just took that. You can see it was like shredded cabbage. I kind of cut it much smaller than I'm doing for my potatoes tonight with the carrots and the cabbage and the potatoes. And then so with salt and pepper on the onions, cooked that down till it was nice and brown. Then I added some cabbage, salt and pepper, with a little bit more bacon grease, because I didn't have much, just a little smidgen, and some butter. I put the lid on this. You can see the smoke coming out. That's my cabbage and my onions. I did take a little bit of the cooking liquid from our corned beef and threw about a couple ladles in here just to help steam it down a little bit before I cooked it on the stovetop. Just to help wilt it a little bit more. And then took it off the stovetop with the lid on, and my potatoes, like I said, are pretty much mashed. And just have a little chunk left to go. And that's it. And then, again, you don't have to mash this mixture, which is not the bacon. It's your cabbage and onions. You can just put it straight in with your bacon until you mash potatoes here and call it a day. And just stir it around. I'm just going to give it a quick little mash. Guys, I pulled a little bit off right there. What can I say? It is just delicious. Very good, guys. Very good. And it's so fork tender. Oh, let me put a knife and I'll show you. Look. Look at that. If you can see that right in. So tender. But we're going to cook it even for another hour. Okay. Sorry. Okay, guys. How much you use... I don't know if I'm going to get all this in my potatoes, because it's not that much potatoes. Look, it's only 4 potatoes. Look how little that is. And this is not my side dish. This was just a little... I was not going to make it. I thought, let me make a little bit. Then I said, nah, I have so much food. But then I said, you know what? I already told you guys I may be making them. So this is really just to show you, to give everyone one mouthful and to show you guys what it looks like. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I want more. All right, let me just add this. I'm using... That's my potato sitting in the nice pot in water. Let's see what this looks like. I don't want to step in the dog's water bowl. All right, let me do this. I need 2 hands. Guys, this is what it looks like. And I'm telling you, it is delicious. Even if you wanted to... You ever put fried onions on your steak and you have mashed potatoes? And you take some fried onions and you put it on your mashed potatoes? It's the same concept. But all we did was add some cabbage. So now let me get that bacon. I just want to show you. This is, I didn't go crazy mashing it. You know, you still want whole pieces in there. And I did not add too much milk. You can make it, I like it like this. You do what you want. Guys, it was so good. I added the bacon. Again, go light on your bacon. Because you don't want this to taste like, because bacon has this unique, strong flavor, right? You don't want it to take over the dish. you don't. It's only the onions and the cabbage with a little hint, a little background of bacon. So be careful, no matter how much we like bacon, add in your bacon, because you don't want the bacon to take over. You want to taste bacon, but you don't want that to be the only thing you taste. It's so good. So I think I used 3 or 3.5 slices. I just wanted to stress the importance for me to tell you that I truly think adding that, because I always use my cooking liquids, using cooking liquids in here to boil my potatoes, to make the mashed potatoes, and then adding a couple of that ladles to my onion and cabbage mixture really adds that extra flavor. I mean, it will still taste good if you don't, but I'm saying it just brings it home. So if you have the patience, definitely do that. All right, bye. Okay, guys, these are definitely done, but hang on. Sorry. I'm trying to just show you something real quick. Oh, steam. God. Here, I don't know if you can see, but it's clear. It's definitely clearer. I've been taking juice out of here. Well, you know, the broth out of here to put with my potatoes, but it's clear. Okay, I just wanted to show you. I'm not. That's my we're talking about my granddaughter because I was just on the phone with her. So, all right, guys, bye. I wanted to show you some of the meat. They definitely shrink, but look how tender this is. Look, oh my God, it will come right off. Now I'm going to take off, like this is fat right here. You got to take off this whole layer. That's fat, right? But just look how tender this is. This is what happens when you cook it. Look at this. It's just, look, it's amazing how tender this is. Okay, and you're going to cut across the grain. Across the grain. Okay. But I just wanted to give you a little peek. Just look at that. Oh, and it smells amazing. And it tastes even better than it smells. But it just, oh my God, it's so yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. I got to call my granddaughter back. We're playing. She's home from school. She's a really good drawer. I should show you her work. And she wants to maybe be a fashion designer, open a store. And she does sketches. And oh my God, what beautiful work she does. Guys, I have such a disaster in my kitchen, seriously. And I even spilled some and everything's so greasy. But here we have the carrots. And I always put myself in cold water like my potatoes. But when I do this meal, obviously I have to be putting them in hot boiling water. So I have my carrots in here. I strain this liquid at least 3 times. I normally don't strain it. And if I was to strain it, because I have strained it, maybe once. But I just strained it a couple times. Because I had a lot of pickle seasoning in there today. And I didn't want people to eat gobs of that on their potatoes and cabbage. So that's why. But there you go. Alright, so I'm going to, like I said, start this. Boil them. And then start my potatoes in there. And then I'll show you when we're done what it looks like. Okay, guys, I added my potatoes. Okay, I like that. Oh. So anyway, I added it. It's going to take a while to bring up to a boil, so I'm going to go put the lid on. Guys, I think it's going to be hard to see because my battery is going to go dead. But this potato just started getting a little translucent. Okay? It's still hard. Can I crumble it? Yeah, I could break it with my finger, but it was hard to do. Now I'm going to add my cabbage, and I like my cabbage on the softer side. Guys, I can't show you with the light, but here is the cabbage. I added it. I added a little salt. Yes, I did. I had to. Okay. Now we'll see how long it's going to cook. Maybe about 15-20 minutes. I thought 10, but I don't think so. Guys, listen, you know what? I just wanted to show you. Scrape off some of that fat like that. Okay. And you're going to cut, this is your grain. You're going to cut across the grain. You're not going to cut this way. You do as thick, as little as slices as you want. This is so tender. Look at that. It is so good. Oh my God. Guys, it truly falls apart in your mouth. Very tender. Okay. Guys, I just want to show you, if you cut with the grain, it falls apart. Okay? Well, now it's not going to do it. Well, there it goes. See? Okay. So you always want to cut across the grain. Oh my God, perfect, guys. It's just so tender. This is what happens when you cook it for 4 hours. And it's not salty. Has a nice flavor too. I promise you it's delicious. Guys, here you go. I haven't mixed it in yet, but I put the butter on. I had what? No, actually 9 pounds of potatoes. I went back and took a couple more. Over 2 pounds of carrots, and I would say maybe 12 pounds of cabbage because they're heavy. So anyway, so there's at least 3 sticks of butter. There's gonna be left over so the cows come home. And I said to my husband, geez, everyone's going home with potatoes and carrots, but this tastes amazing. And that's before I even mix the butter in. I'm sorry, my granddaughter is playing on the phone with my husband. She truly likes to draw and illustrate, and she's talking about being maybe a fashion designer. She's really good. So they're talking on the phone about that. But anyway, there we go. Smells amazing, guys. Smells amazing, amazing, amazing. And guys, here is your corned beef dinner. Look at that. I cut all whatever fat was on there. And this was not really fatty cuts of meat. And it was flat cut too. Not salty, but flavorful. So anyway, we got your corned beef. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. You got your corned beef. Yeah, Vinny's on his way. That was just my son. And anyway, you got your corned beef. You got your potatoes with your cabbage and your carrots. First, all cooked in the water that your corned beef cooked in with a little regular tap water. I did land up salting it a little bit. I first put your carrots in, then your potatoes, and then your cabbage. This is a slice of rye bread with butter. And then this little pile is your Colcannon potatoes. It's just mashed potatoes with a little fried onion, a little crumbled bacon, and a little fried cabbage. And there's different ways you could do that. You could boil, it doesn't matter, but this is it. Right? You watch the recipe so you know what it is. But guys, truly, I promise you, it's so delicious. And again, either you boil it, the corned beef, you could boil it, you could stick it in the oven, you could do it in a slow cooker, or you could do it in a pressure cooker. I always boil mine, and I have done it in the oven before, etc., etc. All right, guys. I'm waiting for all my family to get here.
Small beef then?
Yeah, so not this.
Oh, Kenny, you didn't record. Say it again. Do you like dinner?
Before. So it'll be 10 days on Thursday.
I feel like I found my pot of gold
She
right
asked
here.
if she could. So she wants to
And you
come to
did,
the house,
Vinny?
She's gonna come next Tuesday.
There you go, buddy.
To give it a little extra time.